Good vibes, y'all. Good vibes. This is your host, Brother Push. I want to give shots out to LA Fitz. I wanted to talk a little bit about the greatness of man and how our greatness is, say, covered up by the word alien. This alien concept that they throw on us. When they use that alien concept, it doesn't allow man to be great. It allows man to be created, if you can kind of see what I'm saying, because we are always trying to figure out where the origins of man, like where does he come from? So I chose to look at this from a more open-minded standpoint, I guess. I was thinking about, the Mayan statue, and it has this guy, in a rocket. He looked like he's getting ready to shoot off somewhere. And our scientists and all these PhDs and people like that will go around and say, yeah, they were flying ships in the world and, they're aliens from another world and all this stuff. I don't know if I see things like that. Like when we're trying to find the origins of man, even for black people, it'll say, oh, it's in Africa. I don't actually even see that. We just look and see a bulk of black people and say, hi, this is obviously got to be it. I go a little deeper. I think that we are the aliens, that we come from another world, that we are people who come and terraform new worlds, create a home on desolate planets, kind of like what we want to do with Mars. I don't think that what we want to do with Mars is the first time this idea has came about, So when I look back at those Mayan statues of, a man in a rocket, I sit and think, man, what if our origins start somewhere else? And that's the reason why we can't find it here on Earth, no matter how hard we try. We go and we look at the monkeys, and monkeys, gorillas, they're not turning into humans, and the scientists would be like, well, the genes just stopped. And that don't make sense. It don't make sense. That's a person's way of just ending the conversation. But the truth of the matter is I'm wanting to put more greatness on man, on us. There's more greatness that should be applied. And what do I mean? Quite possibly them pyramids were terraforms, something that was meant to change the atmosphere inside of our world. What if Earth was a dry planet that had no water, and you terraformed, and then all of a sudden, it's raining, and now you have water filling up in valleys and stuff, kind of like the movie, what is that, with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Total Recall. They had some machine inside of that pressed against the ice, and all of a sudden it terraformed the world to where all of a sudden there's oxygen now. If we are on Mars, you don't think they're talking about not changing the atmosphere, which would make rain and all that stuff? Well, I'm saying, how do we know man has not done that already? How do we know man has not done that already? That we did this to this world right here. That we did this to this world. And one would be like, well, where did all the animals come from? How do you know we didn't bring those animals from another world? If we're going to terraform Mars, where would they get animals from? If we're going to Mars and we're going to make that like our home, and we're going to make it have rain and oxygen and water and all that stuff, where are they going to get animals from? You don't think these scientists here wouldn't take some large specimens here and go there and put it in the water, and now you have a well there? You have to think bigger. We have to start thinking greater about ourselves. I had an argument with someone about giants. You know what? I used to sit and say a long time ago, I don't believe in it. But I had to really think, because there is bones, there is a lot of things out there that kind of show that there was some big beings out there. You know what I had to think though? What if we made the giants? What if we had a science that was strong enough to make man bigger, to make ourselves bigger? See, we're not talking about that. We're like, well, the giants are giants. It's like, no, what if man sat down and literally through science created a way to make men bigger so they can get things done that normal small people couldn't get done? Why couldn't we be the makers of the giant? The giant, you're saying that he looks like a human, that is a big tall guy. Why couldn't we had did that? The same people who could have terraformed this world, the same people who could have brought animals from this world to this world. You have to think bigger and not let like science be the end all, say all to this imagination, nor the Bible, because the Bible will have you thinking that you came out of the dirt. And it's quite possibly you came from another place to this world and you were never born out of the dirt in this world. You see what I'm saying? Take a gorilla. When I look at a gorilla, I don't see us coming from a gorilla. I see our DNA in something, and a gorilla looks like us because we put our DNA in something that allowed it to look like us. Like there's this movie, The Island of Maru. There's some guy on this island. It's this movie, and he makes a dog man. Like literally the man is standing upright like us, but he's every bit of a dog. He's got sheep people walking around and they can talk. That's a crazy movie, something y'all should check out. I think it's called The Island of Maru, but the movie was just showing how man took his DNA and mixed it with the animal. And in this movie, it's walking around, the animal is now walking around like people, with conversation and all of that, and I'm saying, why did that have to happen one time? We don't give credit to men, to man, to women, to our kind, and we only make it stuck here on earth. Quite possible we started somewhere else. Quite possible we came with the machine and tools and did all the building. Quite possible we did the creating. Quite possible we did so much that we made the world split. And the destruction was based off what we did inside of the world. No spiritual stuff. I'm saying like something that messed with the electromagnetic field of the earth and caused it to split. How do you know that we aren't the people who were left and everybody else escaped? You got to have an open mind, and you can't let the Bible be the only thing that you use as in for the creation of the world. Like I said, science cannot put his hand on it. The Big Bang Theory is exactly what it is, a theory. So that means they really don't know. These are the things where you have to self-think. I see man greater. I think we made the giants. I think we terraformed this world. I think we brought animals from another world to this world. And I think we fail as a great nation or a great paradigm or whatever you want to call it, to literally you were living in caves. And now we're reemerging again. We're reemerging. And we're looking at another planet called Mars and wanting to do the same thing that we did here on Earth. And you know what's funny? When you get to Mars, will they have a Bible over there that says you was born from the dirt of Mars? Well, that would be a lie. You see what I'm saying? So who's to say that you was born from the dirt of Earth when there's rocks that are 1,000 years old with pictures on it showing men in spaceships. The pyramids are pointing up at a specific area. How do you know that we don't come from another place? It ain't aliens. It's not aliens. It could be us. You see what I'm saying? It could be us. It's our government that's got little green men drew out. You know, it's them that got it drew out. We don't understand what life looked like outside of Earth. It doesn't always have to look like us. Hell, we might be friends with some Chewbacca looking people, you know, just big furry person that's able to communicate, you know, like some Star Wars stuff. That might exist outside of our rationale. And we sit and think all life start here on Earth. And it's quite possible it started somewhere else. And we are just getting back to what we once was star people, people who traveled from one place to another, who probably took desolate planets and turned them into livable places. And somewhere we failed here, and now we want to do it to Mars. We got to think about all this, y'all. All right. Got y'all next time.